You've walked me through fires, pulled me from flames. If you're in this with me, I won't be afraid. When the smoke billows higher, oh, and higher, and it feels like I can barely breathe, I walk through these fires, 'cause you're walking with me.
Hey guys, just want to check in. It's Craig, and look, I'm pretty excited because, as you can see, I have a guest with me, and joining me today is the guy that's going to be in Concordia on August 13th. That's Friday, 8 p.m. Common Ground Coffee House. Would like to welcome Jordan St. Cyr.
What's up, everyone? Man? Thanks for having me, Craig.
All right, I'm glad to. Apparently, our underwriting guy, Todd, who's actually my neighbor,
awesome,
struck up a conversation with you in Florida, didn't he?
That's right. We connected there, and we kind of were able to share our stories. And Todd's just he stayed in touch and just been one of those guys to pray for me and my family, and I just appreciate that so much. So, big fan of Todd. Yeah.
You'll be glad to hear that. So, kind of tell us about yourself. You're relatively, new to the scene. What's your whole life story, the behind the music, so to speak?
The whole life story. And no, it's all good. I've been doing music for a long time. I've done the singer-songwriter thing, kind of in the bars and pubs sort of deal. I was in a rock band for 6 years. And I kind of came back to the singer-songwriter thing after that stint ended. And I was leading worship every Sunday, throughout this time. I was just trying to be a light in a dark place, so to speak.
Sure.
And I just remember so clearly God just kind of saying, imagine what this would look like if you did it with both feet in, And it was one of those moments of like just realizing, the way God made me, is not the way he's made everybody else. He has callings and things for people to do, but for me particular, I believe his desire is to bring a message forward, bring his truth forward through music, and say his name. That was the one thing. He's like, Jordan, what is the one thing that you cannot not sing about? And it was just the name of Jesus, and just being very direct to people, like, this is where my hope is found, and I believe that that your hope can be found here too.
Sure. Okay, so we're playing the song Fires right now. It's a great song. Tell us kind of the whole story behind that.
Yeah, so this story came, the story for the song is about a man named Nathan. And Nathan was a father like myself. He had 3 kids, he's married, and he fell on hard times. He couldn't make enough money to pay the bills, so he was working multiple jobs, 2 and 3 jobs. And one night he found himself parking cars. He was working as a valet at a hotel. He didn't know this, but in the hotel that night, there was a Christian songwriters round where there were like 4 songwriters playing their songs of God's faithfulness in their life.
Right.
And he was able to come in and check it out and hear these songs. And he just left there feeling overwhelmed and inspired. And he felt this nudge in his heart to write a little note to one of the songwriters. And it just said, barring a miracle, I'm on the verge of losing my house. Thank you very much for your songs that were very inspiring to a man whose faith is quite weak right now. And he just signed it, Nathan the valet, stuck it on the car window. And that songwriter took that note. Oh, we've got a train here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we got trains everywhere here in the Heartland.
Well,
so we're used to it.
Bear with me here. He took that note, or that songwriter took that note. One sec.
That's beautiful.
Oh my God. That's a long one.
So how's that in the middle of the night?
Oh my goodness. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, you're
all right. That songwriter took that note to social media, and really the body of Christ went to work. That songwriter put a call out to, can we surround Nathan, his story, his circumstances, and can we be truly what it means to be Christian, surround him and his story, his family. And that's what happened. They raised enough money to pay off what they owed on the house to pay off some medical bills and some other debt
Wow.
that they incurred.
Mhm.
And as a dad, as somebody who, imitates God the best I can to be the provider in our house,
Sure.
knowing that God is the provider, that story just hit home. Imagine not being able to make ends meet for your family. And that's where the story Fires came from, but it took on a whole new meaning 6 months after that song was written. When my youngest daughter was born, Emery, she was born with a rare brain condition.
Okay.
She's now 2.5 years old. And we've just seen God's hand over this little girl and the light she has been in our life. So yeah, she was born with this rare brain condition. We've been in the emergency room more times than we can account with seizures, and so it can bring on potential stroke. A lot of stuff down the road that we haven't met with yet. But ambulance rides, that whole thing, and what I've learned about this and what ties back into the song Fires is, the world would see something or this little girl who needs healing, and we do pray for healing, absolutely, but how can something that the world sees as broken draw me so close to the Father's heart? And so we don't see this little girl as incomplete. This is God's greatest work in our lives, drawing us closer to Him. And what it's revealed, just like it says in the song, is like God is always with us, and He's actually so near to those, the brokenhearted and those going through trials. And so we wouldn't change it. We wouldn't trade it for anything. We've learned too much and drawn too close to God, where we're like, this little girl, we love her the way she is. And we stand in between that miracle and the not yet, knowing that God is still faithful and has a plan for her life.
How many kids do you have?
We've got just the 4.
Just 4? Just 4.
We never thought we'd have 4, like for real. But we have 4, and they are like, they're like our grounding rods. They remind us what life is about. We're made for today. And try not to stress too much about tomorrow. That's God's territory.
What do you guys like to do as a family together? I mean, what's the big thing you guys do?
So this is my bad dad moment.
Okay.
We've had this go-kart frame sitting on our garage for 2 years.
Okay.
We're like, okay, kids, we're gonna make this go-kart. They're like, yeah, Dad. Okay, buy the spring. I'm like, yeah, buy the spring. And spring comes around. Okay, guys, like, this is not my thing. I play guitar, I sing. I'm not mechanical at all.
Right.
So this thing has just been like, a weight on my shoulders. But this year, a neighbor across the street was selling a go-kart that he had fixed up. He's very mechanical.
Okay.
And we bought that for the kids. And so we love to go-kart. We've got this new kind of paved area behind our house.
Okay.
Like this little go-kart track. So it's been amazing. And so, our 2 boys, they're tall enough to drive it. And then our 6-year-old girl, she's okay driving in the passenger seat. And then I'll get one of the boys to drive me and our 2.5-year-old Emery, and I'll hop in there with them and we'll zip around. And it's just so much joy, man. Yeah.
Speaking as a father, I have 3, a boy and 2 girls, and the boy was the firstborn and everything, and you gotta, we're bros, right?
That's right.
We're just good friends and everything, but there's something different about being the dad of a girl.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that true?
It turned me into a wimp.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. With my boys, I needed to get something back. I don't know, that's totally selfish, but like I needed to say a joke and then they laugh, and then I'm affirmed as a father. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah.
Right. But with as soon as Willa was born, it was like I didn't cry for the boys. I was so excited, but with her, I was I was a baby. I turned into a woman, and I'm like, this changes everything. And it is, an experience that God used to just make me more of who I am. Right. So, and I'm sure that's true for you as well.
Oh yeah. Next week, my girl, my middle child, Sadie, will be going to kindergarten. So this is her first school experience. And I've been a wreck for over a year on this thing. I do not want to take her into that school.
That's so good.
Oh, gosh.
Oh my gosh.
let's change gears a little bit. No more of these softball questions. You know, we want the real dirt on Jordan St. Cyr.
Yeah.
So this is a segment I would like to call Getting to Know Your Neighbor to the North.
Okay.
The Canadian.
That's right.
The Canadian. And actually, our traffic director, Stella, she lived in your hometown, which is Winnipeg, right?
No way.
Yeah. So
amazing.
So we always razz her a little bit about it.
As you should.
Yeah. So you know, what's the best part about Winnipeg? Because we don't know much about it.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I think a lot of people think, like, you know, it's so cold and it's always freezing here, and you're half true. It is. It is. The winters are very cold, but the summers are pretty amazing. You know, I'd say spring, summer, and fall. Fall is my favorite season here. Sweater weather, you know,
right?
It's just glorious. But we have some beautiful spots. You know, every place has their shiny spots and their not so shiny spots.
Right.
And we've got just some. You know, the people are great. And we've just got some great attractions. We've got this amazing human rights museum in Winnipeg, and we've got this place called the Forks, where you can go, you can get a great meal, and you can just walk around. And there's always, you know, some sort of exhibit, whether it's a Christmas lights exhibit or something going on. And it's just a great place to take the family. There's a river walk and all that, and it's great. But then even the winters, you know, there's this, you know, winter culture of like getting out, grab your sleds, grab your ice skates, and if it's minus 30 Celsius, you know, then then you just kind of go and you do it, and if it's 10 minutes, well, then at least you could say you did it.
Right.
So,
Okay. So, are you a connoisseur of the Canadian delicacy poutine?
I would say yes. Absolutely.
You are. Okay. With or without cheese curds? I've heard stories on both ends.
Oh, I mean, it's not poutine without cheese curds. Then it's just fries and gravy.
Yeah.
So
if you want to explain poutine to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple. You know, it's very simple. It's just, you know, some nice crispy fries with a nice, you know, soft, you know, you got to make the fries right because they got to stand up to the gravy, right?
Right.
So they got to be crispy on the outside. Then you put a handful of like mozzarella cheese curds, right? They're just like chunks of cheese, and then some warm brown gravy. Oh my gosh. I mean, it sounds, you know, I hope this doesn't come off as offensive, but this sounds like an American dish, does it not?
It does. Fries, of course.
Right? And I'm like, but we'll own it because we love it. And I find it fascinating how many people like that I run into in the States, they know what poutine is, but they haven't had it. And I'm like, this is a food group on its own.
It is. Let's talk language for a second, and then I'll let you go on. I hate to keep you too long. But...
Oh, I love it. Don't worry about it.
All right. So you guys do speak English, but you have a couple words that are different than we use here in America. So explain to me what a double-double is.
Oh, a double-double. So that is, we have this coffee shop. It's called Tim Hortons.
Great
and a double-double. Yeah, great coffee. That's 2 cream, 2 sugar. So you go up, you get a medium double-double. You're good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before or heard it. Pea meal?
Pea meal.
Or back bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a kind of bacon. Do you have Canadian bacon on your list?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's Canadian bacon.
Like Canadian bacon, they kind of sell it as this delicacy, like, you know, like we have this Canadian bacon.
Right.
I mean, it's not very good. It's like, let's get serious. Like, bacon is side bacon. That's what bacon is, and that's what we want. I think, right? Come on.
Right. Okay, so for this one, I gotta actually change hats here.
Nice.
Now, what exactly am I wearing?
You're wearing a beanie.
Oh, you call it a beanie?
No, we call them toques.
Toques, okay.
Which is funny because it's spelled, I think it's spelled Toque.
It is.
You know, super weird. But toque, yeah.
A toque.
Is that weird for you guys?
No, well, not for me because we call them toques up in Michigan too.
Okay, there you go.
So not for me, but yeah. Okay, hydro. When you pay your hydro bill.
Yes, hydrobill. So we have a lot of fast-moving, running rivers, and
Okay.
so they have turbines in the rivers, and that's where we get our electricity. And so we actually sell a lot to the U.S. because we've got an abundance. But when we pay our hydro bill, we're paying our power bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's see. Kinder Surprise eggs. What's that about?
You guys don't have Kinder Surprise?
I have never seen them. I have never heard of them.
Okay. Part of them is super lame, and part of them is amazing. Okay, so basically it's this little egg, and it's a plastic egg, but on the outside of the egg, there's like a thin milk chocolate layer, and then there's tinfoil on the outside as the packaging. So you pull the tinfoil off, and you pull apart this milk chocolate egg. That's the best part. I don't know, their chocolate is amazing. Then inside that plastic egg, there's a little toy. And those are so frustrating, often so useless, and just throw it out. But the chocolate's amazing.
But the chocolate's great.
Oh, yeah. My kids love them. Yeah.
So my last question to you, and then we'll let you go. If you could do a duet with anybody,
oh my gosh,
who would it be?
I mean, it's hard.
I know it's a tough one.
It's hard to beat Daigle.
Oh yeah, okay.
Lauren Daigle would be amazing. Gosh, duet. That's tough. I mean, there's a couple. Like I've been a huge John Mayer fan for a long time. Doing something with him or Andy Grammer.
Oh yeah,
would be amazing. I love those guys. But honestly, the Lauren Daigle collab. That would be amazing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Killer. Yeah,
all right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in Concordia on Friday, August the 13th, 8 p.m. Common Grounds Coffee House. Jordan St. Cyr, thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it so much.
I want